With its finger on the blacklist button, FATF has Pakistan firmly in its sights. Last year in October, it fired the grey list bullet on the rogue nation for not doing enough against money laundering and terror financing. FATF, or Financial Action Task Force, is a powerful 36-nation organization established to combat money laundering and terror financing with power to impose crippling financial sanctions. In a follow-up in June this year in Guangzhou, China, FATF subgroup, the Asia Pacific Group, grilled Pakistan.
What steps have you taken since we last visited Islamabad and Karachi?
This was soon after Pulwama, and the subgroup put out a statement condemning Pakistan.
FATF notes with grave concern the violent terrorist attack that killed 40 Indian security forces in Pulwama. Such attacks cannot occur without money.
In August, the Pakistani delegation headed by the State Bank of Pakistan governor briefed the FATF in Canberra, Canada.
We have banned JUD and their welfare wing Falah in Sania and taken over 800 of their properties.
But seizures do not equal compliance. FATF needs them to explain where they receive funds to purchase these properties in the first place, show action by seizing their weapons and shutting their camps, promulgate more stringent anti-terror and anti-money laundering laws, and lastly, stop the amnesty scheme for militants. Almost no action has been taken against JEM and the Haqqani network. Calling the steps cosmetic, India voiced fresh concerns.
They are trying to create unrest outside of Jammu and Kashmir by financing terror modules in Delhi and Haryana.
The APG subgroup in its next meeting put out a damning 228-page report, flunking Pakistan with 10 marks out of 40 on passing anti-terror laws, but only 1 out of 10 marks for using them. United Nations Security Council Resolution 1267, originally meant to cut off funding sources of the Taliban, is now applied to rogue individuals and organizations. How cosmetic the arrests are can be seen by this one obvious example. Just 2 days before Imran's US trip in July this year, Pakistan charge-sheeted Hafiz Saeed in a minor property seizure case in an effort to placate the US. Hafiz had been arrested in December 2001 for the first time after the terror attacks on India's parliament, but released 10 months later. Then placed under house arrest again for 2 months in 2006, 10 months in 2009, and yet again for a similar period in 2017 before being arrested once again.
Protective custody has no impact on their operations, and anyway, right now, it is JEM which is active.
Organizations like Falah in Sania or Salvation for Humanity, set up by Hafiz's JUD under the garb of charity, until recently collected funds from across the Middle East through regular banking channels, which are partly used for charitable purposes but mainly for terror financing activities. However, FATF will not be able to curb collection of funds from locals.
Help your Muslim brothers being victimized in Kashmir. Donate generously.
These cash donations lie outside banking channels, nor can FATF control arms and equipment the military and ISI supply them from their part of the budget, estimated to be 1/5 of Pakistan's annual budget. However, with their access to easy money curtailed, terrorist organizations will surely be less effective than before. India's National Security Advisor Chief Ajit Doval is happy with the pressure being exerted.
FATF has put more pressure on Pakistan than any other action so far.
Pakistan has very little space to play here. They are already in dire straits financially, borrowing to pay interest on their debt. 4.1 billion from China, 3 billion from Saudi Arabia, 2 billion from the UAE, and 6 billion from the IMF just to survive. Growth rates are down to 2.4%, the stock market down by more than half since 2017, inflation up at 13%, and fiscal deficit at 7.1% is out of control. On the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly meet this September, Imran met several leaders of FATF nations from Asia, Europe and Africa in an effort to gain some time. They managed to convince the FATF to allow Hafiz Saeed to withdraw 150,000 Pakistani rupees per month for his personal expenses, as if to say sanctions had dried up all his sources of income. Pakistan's Economic Minister Hamad Azhar submitted detailed answers to 125 questions posed by FATF at Bangkok to be removed from the grey list. Just 4 days before the crucial Paris FATF meet, Pakistan arrested 4 more senior leaders of LET-JUD. In 2018, India were able to convince China and Muslim countries such as the UAE and Indonesia to put Pakistan on the grey list, who need 3 votes to remain out of the blacklist. 2 countries they can almost always bank on for support are Malaysia and Turkey. China is the swing vote, and while Prime Minister Modi and President Xi enjoyed a good rapport at the recent Mamallapuram summit, they are still miffed about India's declaration of Ladakh as a union territory and continue to believe in the policy of using Pakistan to weaken India. Reuters reports that 2 top government officials confirmed China's support to Pakistan's civil and military leadership.
Don't worry, we will not let Islamabad be placed on the blacklist.
True to their word, in a meeting attended by 205 nations, the IMF, UN and the World Bank, with China's support, the FATF gave them a last chance, moving them from the grey to a newly conjured up deep grey list instead of to the black.
Pakistan has until February 2020 to take action against money laundering and terror financing to avoid being blacklisted.
Blacklisting will mean that even the IMF loans secured in mid-May and disbursed over the next 39 months could be suspended. Institutions and countries would be prevented from investing in Pakistan, leading to a possible economic collapse of the country. Pakistan has been playing this charade for far too long, placating the world temporarily, then going back to doing exactly the same thing. What India could not do, FATF will. Bisbo's limerick. Pakistan got saved from FATF's blacklist. The support of some countries left India miffed, but the ploy to hide and that time abide is no longer an option that the world will gift. Subscribe to Bisbo's channel and be sure to click on the bell icon. Be the first to know when Bisbo releases a new video.